Welcome to the preliminary hotshot operation and maintenance guide. It's not the final version, but hopefully this will help you guys that need it right away get through here. Let's look at the operator panel. We've got a pressure gauge, temperature gauge, a vacuum gauge, followed by a multi-purpose hour meter and tachometer, the pressure adjustment regulator, automatic pump out switch, chemical mixing block, blower loop port, a 2-position solution out, water in, APO out, vac, and drain line. Okay, now it's time to make the connections to your front panel. First thing we want to do is connect the water supply to the unit. Never operate your unit without a water supply connected. Be sure that the water is turned on and that you have an ample supply and pressure. Connect your APO hose. This is a hose that carries a wastewater from your tank out to a sanitary sewer or other approved location. Once you've connected your hose, be sure to switch on the APO switch on the panel. Always make sure that your pressure adjustment is set all the way to the counterclockwise position before starting the engine. Connect your whip hose. This can be done on either one of the 2 ports. They're both the same. So choose one, connect the whip hose, make sure that it is in the off position. And now that you have these basic connections made, it's time to start the engine. Once the engine is started, put it in the idle position and allow the engine to warm for at least 1 to 2 minutes. So while the engine is warming, let's go ahead and get our propane tanks turned on. Make sure you turn on both tanks at the same time. Both tanks should always be operated simultaneously so that they remain balanced and actually used at the same rate. Inside the trailer, we want to turn on our electric switch to the heater. Set your thermostat to the operating temperature that you need. Then you want to find your valve, gas valve on the right hand side. That needs to be turned to the pilot position so that the pilot can be ignited. Turn it to pilot and notice that it depresses. This manually flows gas to the pilot until it's been heated. Holding that in the down position, you need to fire the igniter on the front. This may need to be done a couple of times in order to get the pilot to light. But once the pilot is lit, continue holding down on the pilot button until the pilot remains lit on its own. 15 to 20 seconds, release it. Make sure that it's burning. If not, press again, hold another 15 seconds. Once you release it, it remains burning on its own. You can then turn the gas valve to the on position and you're ready to operate your water heater. It's important to note that at this point the gas will not fire until water is flowing. Only the pilot will burn. Go to your front panel, open your whip hose so that your heater begins firing. The burner comes on. This will allow water to flow through. Watch your temperature gauge. Continue to watch that until you attain the operating temperature that you're looking for. This should take a minute to 2 minutes, possibly 3 minutes, depending on the temperature you're looking for. Once you get an operating temperature that you're satisfied with, continue to monitor that. Then you can go ahead and close the whip hose. Temperature will rise fairly rapidly. Now's a good time to go ahead and fill your pre-spray container, mixing your chemical and your hot water together so that you can go in and pre-spray the floor. For safety reasons, you should always add chemical to water, not water to the chemicals. Okay, now that the floor is pre-sprayed and we're ready to go to work, let's get our solution line and vac lines connected. Everything inside is ready to go. We've got our floor pre-sprayed. Now we're going to crank up the pressure. 12 to 1400 psi is our normal for tile and grout. Once you have your pressure up, it's time to go ahead and make sure that your chemical mixing meter is closed all the way, if you're not cleaning carpet, by turning the knob fully clockwise until it stops. Before you connect your vac line, it's important to go ahead and increase the operating speed of your engine to maximum. So go to full throttle on your throttle, connect your vac hose, and you're ready to go to work. Okay, after completing your job, you're ready to go through the shutdown procedure. The first thing we want to do is shut down our gas to the gas line. turning off the electric switch on the front of the heater and putting your thermostat back in the off position. This completely disables and turns off your water heater. At this point, the first thing we want to do is disconnect the vacuum, which takes the load off the unit, and also turn down your pressure to 0 so that your water pressure reading on your pressure gauge is now 0. At this point, idle down your engine, so bring the throttle all the way to the right position so that it's just idling. Open the whip hose, allow water to flow from the whip hose, and this will cool your engine down. This could take as long as 2 to 3 minutes, but while we're doing this, we want to watch the temperature gauge and allow it to continue to run until we're down to about 100 degrees Fahrenheit. At that point, turn off the whip hose, shut down your engine, and you're ready to complete your shutdown procedures by disconnecting the remainder of the hoses. Once the engine is shut down, it's safe to remove the water from the unit. You can disconnect your APO hose, turn off your APO hose switch, and disconnect the whip hose, roll that up and store that in the appropriate position, and also disconnect your water supply line. If you turn your water supply off and disconnect at the opposite end, there won't be any pressure on the line when you remove it from your unit. Roll up your whip hose, store that in an appropriate location, and you're ready to go. Now, if this was the last job of the day, you'll also want to lube the blower port by using some type of moisture displacement sprayed into the blower lube port while you're holding your hand over the vac port. This will lube your blower and prevent it from rusting inside.